Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a tech tip video concerning the 2025 and up Yamaha MT-07 and 2026 and up Yamaha YZF R7, like you see here. We're gonna use this bike to portray what we need to portray here for you. If you are installing our high performance intake on one of these bikes, the generations that I just mentioned, the breakdown of the bodywork is going to vary depending on what bodywork you have. Typically these sell to customers that run this in the racetrack setting. So we're not going to go over how to break everything down and install it. We already did that sort of on the previous generation bike, so you can use that as a guide. I'm just here to talk about the slightly different nuances of the new bikes. Mainly what it takes to remove some of the guts so you can remove the OEM airbox, and then the routing and position of the IAT sensor, the temperature sensor on this particular bike, and the new MT is somewhere in the tank area. Here I can illustrate on this bike, we have it mounted to a bracket that holds the tank to the frame. It also has a cable management device here that will need to come down, and we'll get to that in just a moment. I just wanted to illustrate what I'm talking about as far as the temperature sensor goes. Let's just go a little bit more in sequence. Before you install one of these intakes, you need to remove the OEM intake. So as before, all the guts have to come off of it and you have to loosen everything. Obviously, once you loosen everything, this jiggles around in there. However, with the throttle body in place, you cannot take that out. That has not changed from the previous generation. What has changed is the type of throttle body that you have on here. The throats are still the same diameter, rough physical shape is still the same diameter, but what's easier about this model is that you unclick some of the electrical connectors and that's it. This is a throttle by wire unit. You won't have to deal with removing, reinstalling, and then adjusting cable components for cable throttle. So it's click, click, click. You undo the rearmost screws on the head mounting sleeves, and then that comes off. I highly recommend removing the coolant temperature sensor off of here too. One additional note that I want to make is obviously you don't want to throw anything down into the engine, into the head. What I noticed is that there is a little cap on one of the vacuum fittings here. Here, I'm pointing to the cap. The other side, number 2 cylinder, has a tube that goes to a pressure sensor mounted here. So that's pretty easy. You slip that off, good to go. I was inclined to leave this cap in place, but then I noticed that I was very close to snagging it and having it come off. And then once this throttle body's out, if I lose this and it's not on the engine, it's likely in the head. And that's gonna be a big, big problem. Fishing it out of the head before starting the motor, just knowing that it's there, is gonna be a crapshoot. But then if it is there, taking it out, I don't know if I have a small enough vacuum to vacuum it out of there. So to prevent that, I like to take this cap off. So this tube comes off, this cap comes off, all the connectors from around the entire area come off. We don't power on the bike until everything's replaced after the assembly. And then that will make it possible to replace your intake system without any big horrors. All right, so that being out of the way, let's say we've removed this guy already. We're ready to replace it with our nice WORX Airbox. I like to reuse the clamps from the OEM setup. I do reposition them. So here I have them clocked a little different than how they come from the factory. From the factory, I had to get in through the top under the tank. Obviously the tank comes off. And I had to use a ball end bit to get in there because I didn't have a straight shot. Ball end bit on an extension, and I was able to take it out. It gets a little convoluted in there. I don't like having to take off the tank to remove the airbox. The type of filter element that we use on these airboxes requires that you take it off, clean it, and oil it much more frequently than the OEM set. So to facilitate that, I like to have my clamps clocked in a way that I can get in there without the removal of any bodywork and just loosen it, pop it off, be able to turn it, remove my IAT connection, remove my crankcase vent hose, and then take it out. And it's just a couple minutes of a job to disassemble this thing, clean it, re-oil it, reassemble it, versus having to remove everything to get under the tank. So please take note of that. And if you're inclined to have an easy time with this Airbox, perform the installation in this way. So now we've come to my original point of the IAT sensor. This sensor measures the temperature of the air going into the intake. In our tests with these bikes, it has proven to be more effective to have the temperature sensor in here. This material that we make the Airbox out of, it doesn't really conduct heat all that well. It's a pretty good heat insulator. So the internal temperature just around the actual intake funnels is the most effective means of taking temperature for knowing what the density of air is, and therefore the bike will calculate fueling for you properly from the tables that we've set up in our tune. So this sensor will need to be taken off. Grab yourself a Phillips screwdriver, appropriate size. I believe this is a number 2. Get it pressure set in there, crack it loose, take it out, remove this sensor, and move it to this area on the box, and then screw it in here. And then you will need to do something about the routing of this wire. So here it has a strain relief assembly mode where it's been S-folded into a cable management device. This cable management device does have a dart clip. If you squeeze on it, it pops it out for you. And this guy is long enough where you'll slice through this and unravel it, and now it'll reach the new location on the bottom of the Airbox here. If you feel like you need more length, then you could slice away the one part of the tape on the main harness that holds this harness against it. Remove this loom from that and then replace a couple of windings of tape there. It's just under this member that I'm using to lift the tank, so I can't really show it. I've already removed it. So it's simple note, make sure that you have enough length so that when you slip off your new Airbox, you can move it around in there without much restriction and be able to take all those connections off so that you can remove it for service. So here, with the tape removed, with the S-fold still in place, I have ample length here. So I suspect that just removing this S-fold will be enough, but you'll have to be the judge of what's right for you. So I think here I've covered all of the parameters that I need to cover as far as the differences between the installation on previous unit bike versus the current generation bikes. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any more questions, reach out to our customer service guys. They're trained to be able to answer all your questions on this item and any other items you might be interested in. Check out tstindustries.com. See you next time.